In Iraq, several Christian families in the town of Kirkuk are packing their bags today, preparing to leave the country. Their exodus follows the discovery this week of the body of a Christian health worker. 45-year-old Imad Aliyah was shot repeatedly in the chest and torso. Senior international correspondent Gary Lane, who has traveled to Iraq several times, joins us now with more on this story. And why was Aliyah killed?
Well, he probably was an easy target. He had regular habits. He was a part of the defense, or I'm sorry, not the defense, but the health ministry in Kirkuk. He was taken. His family couldn't pay a ransom. 2 days later, they found his bullet-riddled body south of town. And this is happening more regularly in Kirkuk.
So it is happening more regularly. Who's responsible?
Yeah. Well, these are probably insurgents. The best guess is Muslim insurgents. Some are related or tied to Al-Qaeda. But what they want, Lee, is they want money to help their operations go. So they look at, okay, who are we going to kidnap? Christians are successful. Many of them have businesses and so forth. They think they have money. Other than that, maybe some of the leaders of churches, and they've kidnapped many of those in places like Mosul and Baghdad because they think the churches have money and they can pay.
And Christian families leaving Iraq, this is nothing new, is it?
Well, it's political as well. It isn't anything new for Mosul and Baghdad. You know, a year ago at this time, we saw 10,000 families chased out of Mosul, Christian families. That was political. You had provincial elections coming up. They wanted the Christians out to affect the elections. You've got an election coming up at the end of January, a general election, and Kirkuk is a battleground because there's a lot of oil there. And you've got Kurds and you've got Arabs, and they're fighting over Kirkuk.
And again, this is one of the downsides of the invasion in Iraq. As good as things are going over there militarily right now, a new regime over there has meant more persecution of Christians, hasn't it?
Well, it has, and we've seen from 2003 when the war started, there were about 1.2 million Christians in Iraq. Now they're down to about 500,000. Many have left for places like Syria and Jordan, United States, Canada, because of the violence against them. And they're specifically being targeted, and they're trying to get money for it.
Is there any indication that the U.S. might be able to do something about that and pressure the Iraqi government?
It worked in Mosul a year ago. The U.S. State Department put pressure on the government, said, look, you've got to do a better job of protecting the Christians. We'll see if they'll do the same and if that'll work this time.
Okay, thank you, Gary.
Sure.